Hello there, fellow Dread Knights. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages. Episode 61, Uneasy Peace Before the Storm. The current priority is survive, and the reason for this is as follows. If we take a look at the gameplay storyteller, for this finale, the final stream, I have raised the threat scale from 220, which is the default losing is fun, to 500. That should be fun. So we'll see how that goes. There's really no priorities I'm going to take other than just like flatly survive. And if we manage to survive the onslaught of 4 hours of anomalous monsters, we win. And if not, well, the series is still over anyway. But hopefully we'll win. So what I'm going to do is keep everyone sort of close, because with the amount of anomalous monsters heading our way, let's just say that we scouted and we know they're coming, we are definitely going to want to stay as safe as possible. The other thing is, it might be a good idea to have guarding spots, red, orange, and yellow. Well, red, yellow, orange. And we're going to have a lot of idle pawns because I'm not doing work at the moment. So I'm going to have guard duty as a 3, which isn't ideal because people will walk away from their guard posts. But the idea here is that we will have a bunch of the pawns keeping watch at the towers some of the time. Imperfect coverage, but coverage greater than previous. So let's, the other thing is, I was thinking about doing night schedules. I don't think you are what, I think I put Mike on a night schedule just so that Mike would stop pissing off everyone else being of a different ideology. Klein, I'm going to put you back on day. I'm going to try to not split up couples. So McGee and Ginger should both be night. So 5 night. Maybe I need to move one more day. Oh, well, it's about even. 5 and 6, right? Okay. McGee, I'm going to move you here. And Klein, this is a little awkward, but I'm going to move you up like that. So we have 2 brawlers on night, 1 brawler on day. These are all the days, these are all the nights, and now I can split them evenly. So Havalka and Lilin guard the red spots, yellow, and orange, red, yellow, orange. We have roughly 2 people guarding the spots. If one person's standing there, the other person doesn't have to do it. I don't know if it's going to be a workable schedule. We'll see. And then, of course, as I said, being that they're on guard 3, it's a pretty low priority. But at the very least, it will give us a little bit of vision sometimes. Scorpio, thank you for the gifted subs. Con Humanis for the resub, Louis for the resub, Madsy, and Thomas Jade as well. Cheers. So in terms of the anomalous monster database, or whatever you want to call it, God, where is that button? I guess I can get, I don't know where the button is over there. That's weird. We don't know of some of the anomalous monsters. Where is that? Oh, it's here. It's right in front of me. It's the book. So we have incomplete data. Some of these is just a result of not... So to back up a little bit, if you have Anomaly set on like an atmospheric threat and not a monolith threat, there is somewhat of a limit to what you will... Oh, let's raise this up too. Back to overwhelming. There's somewhat of a limit when Anomaly is on like an atmospheric threat that will prevent you from necessarily getting like all of the entities, I believe. So there is some limit, and we're pushing up against that limit for the most part. But regardless, we have a pretty good understanding of the majority of at least the anomalous monsters. Now, it's not much of a spoiler, but we would never interact with this anomalous monster because you make it. You don't get attacked by it. This is a ghoul. And then this one isn't really a monster so much as it is a tree that likes to eat corpses and so on and so forth. So some of these aren't like things that we have to necessarily fight. But regardless, we have a pretty good idea of what we're up against now. And hopefully we can fight against it. Now, I don't think it's in the cards that we're going to shave down the mountains like I had previously thought. The other thing is we are sitting on a decent amount of wood. But because we have all these trees growing within our base, if I need more wood, we don't necessarily have to go out for it. And Klein, thank you for the resub too. No idea how your pawn has lasted this long. I know, and not only that, this burn scar I think is very new. You've been completely unharmed, like with permanent injuries until like last stream. I think that burn scar is like just that new. I don't recall. I think it was like I don't know. I don't have a mod that shows like how you got an injury, but this is a pretty new one. So in terms of the injuries we've suffered so far, ignoring Ivalka's lung rot, she lost her nose. Lung rot will go away. It's treatable. Lilin lost a kidney, I believe, to a cultist. We got a sight stealer's claw scar to Medic's eye and also an artificial nose. Major is unharmed. Klein has a burn scar to his eye. Mike is missing a toe. I think that was actually from a social fight, but I could be mistaken. McGee also missing a kidney. Ginger, the hearing loss she arrived with, she was like old as hell when she got here. But, and actually she had a very painful scar on her leg. So she actually hasn't suffered any injuries under our being as a retainer for us or whatever. All of these injuries predate her joining. The same is true, if I'm not mistaken, of Sean. Sean, however, due to the lovely ripe old age of 75, has gained frail while living here. You would think this would toughen you up, but the inverse has happened. Roy has had it bad. I believe all these injuries are some stuff that Roy got while here. Nose, leg, foot. I think maybe the foot scar predated, but it was a painful one, so we replaced it. And then Dory has a stab scar, which I think predates us as well. But regardless, we've been through the ringer, and I mean, that's not addressing the fact that we have Major Mildew or Mildred, Dizzy, Rayvac, Scorpio, and Kellyan who have passed. It's not been gentle. And I'm really curious now that the threat scale is so absurdly high, what's going to get thrown at us next. All right, I'm going to stop sowing the hayfields. I don't think I really need to. We have probably close to 5,000 hay. And I can see that the tower work is so good. All right, let's raise it up from 3 to 2. I think, well, no, I'm going to not do that just yet. We still have some hauling tasks. And as soon as I do that, the problem with doing that is if I make it a 2, no one's going to haul or clean anymore unless someone's already at that guard spot. So it's kind of a problem. And see to keep, thank you for the cheer as well. So who's got predictions about how this is going to go? You died of friendly fire from Lone, so watch your backs. Can't help. Arrow to the back. And it happens. You know, it's... Look at that face. Is that a face of guilt? Maybe. I mean, she's high. That might be a face of psychite bliss. You know what's funny is psychite tea is kind of like a real thing in real life. They make you know, if you're in the high altitude part of like South America, they can make tea out of the coca leaves to help with elevation sickness. It's literally a thing. Yep. Coca tea. Mate de coca is an herbal tea made from raw or dried leaves of the cocaine-containing coca plant. And the tea is most commonly consumed in the Andes mountain range. Yellow in color, bitter flavor, similar to green tea, but more organic sweetness. No evidence that is addictive. But I believe it's to help with elevation sickness or something. Yeah, high altitude sickness. Yep. Well, look at that. I fact-checked myself. You're welcome. What was that error noise that I heard? Oh, whatever. Wait, what? I had a... Oh, yes. I had a zombie die on the platform. Lillian, go in there real quick. You died because we burned you to death. I love it. I know, I shouldn't, but that's wonderful. We basically Frankenstein monstered that thing to death. Fantastic. I want the best doctor treating Avalka's lungs. Minor 3 days tended. Good. Oh, one of the lung routes are already gone. One monster just died. That it did. We are electro harvesting it so that we can produce power to keep our detection network on. And as a result of electro harvesting, we are essentially like electrocuting them for power. How it works, don't ask me. I don't know. But my point is, they can suffer consciousness loss due to the amount of electricity that we zap them with, or that we extract from them, or whatever. I don't know. So, yeah, we done killed it. But it was only a shambler. It really doesn't amount to much. Well, I guess Maddox keeping watch. Like, that's something. I've really only ever seen this guard tower. So what is this, the yellow one? Yeah. Good job, yellow guard tower. And bad job, red and orange. I have not seen anyone at the other points. Maybe it's just like you can make a light glow from a potato. But that's like a electrolyte differential. Maybe that's what anomaly monsters are. You know? Who am I to say? I don't know why we can electro harvest, but we can. I was kind of thinking like 500 thread I'd be attacked by now, but I guess we did just get attacked. Oh, the other thing that we might want to do is not allow new guests. I'm gonna go out on a limb to say, with threat at 500. Well, no, let's just do it. Let's just be like, yeah, you can come visit. Don't worry, we've not angered the Dread Forest to the point where everything in the Dread Forest is trying to murder us. Yeah, totally, totes normal. Show up and trade. It's no big. Anomalous monsters are big potatoes? Yes. And when they go through our fire traps, they're baked potatoes. And when we chop them up in a little bits, they're fries. That's why they call it the Monster Mash. Alright, the southern bridge needs to be propped open. Ginger, you know, who's famously very able to move fast. Actually, she's not that slow. You go pop that one open. So in terms of clothing, I think we have a nice surplus. Yeah. We got surplus of armor and weapons. So we're as ready as I think we're ever going to be for what is to come. Speaking of Ginger, could you go Council of Valka? 80% chance. There we go. I would say mental breaks are probably the most dangerous when you know there's like unbelievable threats coming, because not being able to control the pawns when there's like murder happening is well, it's a bad time. I'm deleting the hay field because I don't think we'll need it by end of stream, and given that this is the last stream, we don't need to resow it or anything. 5,500 hay. I'm glad we have the entity detection network up, because I'm a little sketched that we have not yet been attacked, but I know that we would be able to detect invisible attackers before they got to us. Oh, could you just not do that, Mike? So the conversion ritual... Oh, I could have done it. Shoot. Well, I don't exactly regret counseling Avaka, but I failed to notice that the conversion ritual could be triggered. We'll understand psychophagy pretty soon. And then maybe we should understand skip abduction next. The cultists have tried to skip abduct us, so perhaps it would be helpful to understand how and why they do it. Our wood count is holding. I'm keeping an eye on it as we like recharge all the torches. I mean, that's honestly one of the downsides of medieval. I have no idea how people IRL in medieval times, like, I think they just slept when it wasn't light out. Threat scale doesn't increase attack frequency. Yes, that is true. It just makes the threats worse. So I might have to wait for things to trigger, because they have just triggered. But we know that something horrible is on the horizon. By design. Right. I'm going to cancel out the quarry now. I don't think there's really any resources we need to get from the quarry, and it's keeping people from actually guarding in the guard towers. One thing I can try to do, it's a little weird to use the material like this, but let's like make a plasteel blade. Let's see. So I think the longsword, is that the best with usable shields? 8.6. I'm not sure. Gainax, Claymore can't be used with shields. Yeah, so I think it's a longsword. So yeah, let's try to make a plasteel longsword. Maybe Matic will make a legendary one and it will be super useful. One can hope. Oh, there we go. Getting more guardsmen now that I shut down the quarry. Ooh, we have guards in every direction. So, for the first time ever, I have really good vision around the, around our surroundings. It's weird to say that, but I really haven't had, like, guard vision. Well, okay, as the moment I say that, Matic leaves. But I really haven't had, like, good guard vision up until now. The good news is, looking at the idleness... Whenever they're idle, it means they're recreating, they're eating, they're going to the bathroom, and then they're also guarding. One thing I wish I could say is, like... I wish there was, like, an order of operations for guard spots. It's like, guard it red, then yellow, guard it yellow, then orange. Or, like, prioritize guarding red, and if not, guard somewhere else. Something akin to that would be really nice. You wonder if the left hand of the lake will fully freeze? Possibly. I mean, it's only September 1st. But time will tell. Randy is lulling me into a false sense of security. Yeah, obviously. Couldn't I make every guard spot a red spot? I suppose I could. Let's see if that's better. And that way, everyone idle, like, just goes. So guards. Oh, really? The drag doesn't work? Bummer. Okay, one at a time. So they can either guard, protect upon, or patrol. And patrols aren't that helpful because I want to be able to, like, use the watchtowers. So we'll see if this helps. I'm going to be off camera for just 1 second. And Chaos Engine, thank you for the resub. Well, look at this. We have, oh, there we go. We have one person guarding. That was longer than a second. I'm sorry. I needed to blow my nose, and I figured you shouldn't be subjected to it. Believe it or not, I'm still somehow sick from getting the flu back on Thanksgiving, like 3+ weeks ago. I still have head congestion. Sinus infection that just won't go away. Maybe I need some herbal medicine applied by Lillian here. So what are some of the other things I could do? You know, I'm slightly tempted to release all the ducks to the wild. Because if I did that, like, if we think that horrible anomalous monsters are coming to, like, kill us, the most gentle thing that we could do is to let them go. I don't know, maybe. I also realize we are going to want some food. And I know I've triggered wargs and grizzly bears to be hunted. If we actually want to do the hunting, it will be manual. So let's go after the warg in the southeast and the grizzly bear also in the southeast. Okay. Sometimes releasing the animals back into the wild is the best option. Yeah, I mean, they're ducks. They'll be fine. Right? Hopefully. Maybe. Possibly. Alright, one grizzly bear dead. Ginger, I'm gonna unrestrict you, and you can haul it home. And this is just so that we can keep feeding ourselves. I have like 1,500 salted meat, but we used to have like 4,000. So I figure we might want to re-up our supply before we get cut off from the map beyond, because if horrible anomalous monsters come and beset us, we might not be able to like have free movement. All right, for now, all the other archers are going to return home. Yo, Mike, can you stop doing that? I'm gonna allow every other colonist in our colony to like punch you in the face if you just keep preaching at us. He just did it. Oh no, that was Matic converting Mike. What was the inverse? So in the morning, I'll maybe go for bison here, something. Yeah, all of them assigned to the red spots actually worked pretty well. We got good coverage again. And come sun up, we'll actively hunt what's out there. So maybe what we'll do is unrestrict. Actually, I'm going to close zone. I want to do the manual hunting because the animals out here are all like herd aggressive except for the ibex. So the likelihood of them attacking us is pretty high. Longsword is done. I don't think it's very good. Oh, excellent. Excellent is probably better. So Klein has an excellent, so it's going to be identical to Klein's. This is a 14 with 44 pen. So that is better than Roy's, and definitely better than Dory's. There we go. So, new weapons. Hope it's a good fit. Sending the bison hunters out east. The other thing that might end up happening as a result of our raid prep is a lot of our dogs, like, not doing so well, let's call it. I can't necessarily guarantee their safety during, like, a hell swarm. Okay. It looks like the dogs we have are actually not set up to be unrestricted. Maybe that's for the best. I'm not really sure. I think what I'll do is I'll call that good enough hunting for now and leave the other animals that are out there alone. So that's probably enough food. So animals, dogs, we want you inside. So weird, knowing that we're on such high threat scale and like nothing is happening is like more concerning than if I was actively being attacked. Ooh, are we cured? Nah. Almost. It's the, like, false hypothesis that, like, the longer you wait between threats, the more, like, Randy's building up his aggression, which is not how the storytellers actually work. The storyteller threats are a little complicated, whether it's, like, wealth-based or adaptation-based. But time between events is not a factor, which is important to note. I'm gonna pull you guys. Should I release the ducks? Chat, you get to decide. So at this point, they've more or less served their purpose. Laying eggs for us is like passive protein. We have lots of hay, so it's not like we are struggling to feed them. But the idea is, if monsters are coming, maybe it's best that they aren't, you know, locked up in our castle. But you decide. Mike, have you learned any lessons? She, like, broke your pelvis and shoulder? And torso? Any lessons here? Probably not. How many rivals does Mike have at this point? 4. It's funny. I think what's even more funny about that is, like, Mike's also a misandrist, so it's like pretty easy to have rivals. So you hate men and you're like preaching to them. I don't know. There's something hilarious about that to me. Like, I hate you, convert to my ideology. It is so interesting to me that, like, I changed the fish supply by building heavy bridges in this pond. It used to be that it was, like, catfish everywhere, and now it's just catfish in the southeast quadrant. She's friends with the Valka? Yeah, that's what's weird. I guess Cathartic Fight is doing a lot of lifting there. Roy, you got Inspire Tame. Does that help? With Animal 7. Oh, that's not terrible. What's a cougar? 8? Oh, alright. Well, in that case. Alright. I'm being warned that it is going to get cold. I'm not too worried about that. We got a lot of heat sources in the base. And you guys definitively say, do not release the ducks. Alright. We'll keep them. With all the new meat that we've got... Oh, you know what? I think we just have a lot of meat racks that haven't been hauled to. Maybe I can encourage it? Well, that's weird. So this meat rack is empty, but I can't, like, haul to it. This meat rack is, like, bugged? Oh. No, it's warm enough in the room. Although, what I should do, now I'm looking, is turn the fire back on, because it's going to get too cold soon. Yeah, it's just strange. I like, can't move meat to the racks by right-click, even though this clearly is empty. I'm just going to destroy the rack and rebuild it. When in doubt, reset. I don't think anyone was trying to haul the rack. That rack's been empty for, like, weeks now. I think the easiest explanation was it was broken. Because even, well, I don't know, maybe. No, there it goes. They, like, immediately hauled to it. Yeah, there was something bugged about that specific rack, I think. Visitors. Okay, we have some guests. It's not the king, not this time. I don't think I've ever seen these guests before. So, Rivaldo, who's abrasive, whatever that is, Agathocles, Napolitano, pretty good stats, kind, who's addicted to alcohol. Oh, well, that's why you're kind. A careful shooter who's never used a bow in his life, literally 0. Like, you've never touched a bow. How are you a careful shooter? You're careful because you've never done it. Gun control at its best. Creepy breather, undergrad, or too smart. And slothful. And yeah, you don't say. You're also, like, slow too. Do you have health problems? No, you don't have health problems. You're just. What's funny is slothful is not like moving speed. But he's even like, you know what? Oh, because of plate armor. That's it. That makes more sense. Alright, I'm gonna re-allow that door to be used, now that we actually have functional guests. Because it would be weird if I couldn't go in there, but they could. Because guests don't abide by the same, like, forbidden doors that we do. And I really don't know. Oh, There's a way to make guests work, right? To allow them to, like... Well, no. I'm not going to have them guard. That'd be cruel. It's like, welcome to hell. Stand in this tower. I mean, I would do it, but I'd be wrong. And armorsmith caravan. Wow. You're like wish.com Camelot? Amelot. Are you a lot? No, you're not. Oh boy, there's a Taral like hanging out with them. Note to self, kill Taral. Maybe in the morning. You can have talent, never encounter it for that careful shooter. Well, careful shooter doesn't necessarily mean they have talent. That just means they shoot slow. He's shot so slow, never shot a shot in his life. That sure is slow, living up to it. Alright, this armor smith is going to take our... So I had... Oh god, they can not even afford... Oof. Alright, you're gonna buy, like, 1.5 dusters. Like, our stuff is too good for you? There you go. I'm gonna gift the rest just to raise my reputation with them to 100. Because the chance of, I'll keep the legendary one, though. The chance of potentially recruiting one of them, one of the guests that we currently have, and, like, ruining our current relationship is non-zero. So I figure raising relationship is up to 77 to give us a little bit of a buffer if we do end up, like, poaching one of their members helps a bit. Well, we've been working on charming the guests. We charmed his hat off. Wait, what happened? You were wearing a hat a second ago. Where'd it go? You took it off? Oh, you stuffed it in your pocket because it was tattered. Well, let's hope your pants don't get tattered, because you'll end up like that one, where they took their pants off. They're running around with... Well, I guess... Does patterned armor cover legs? It does. So, okay, that's fine. I thought they were just in a shirt and a mantle. But apparently not. A leathery stranger. A ragged stranger with leathery skin is approaching your colony. He wants to talk. Send a colonist to hear what he has to say. Wow. I gotta say, Portrait of the Rim, you did a really good job. Dude looks like a shoe. I will send our greeting committee out there. I wish there was a way for me to stop the pawns from, like, fording the pond. Right? Like, I don't want them to have to go trudging through all the water. But they do it anyway. So normally with new people, I would send out Ginger, who has our best social skills, but this does not require someone who has social skills, I don't think. The leather stranger stares into space and speaks in a monotone, as though he hardly sees anyone or anything. He refuses to leave, insisting he is only interested in your colony. He says that he can help. Alex claims an extensive knowledge of alchemical practice. He can, using unknown architechnological influence, transmute steel into various valuable resources. He may be very useful, but you can also sense there is something Alex is not telling you. Send him away. Wait, he's just... has decided to leave? What about the whole, like, I refuse to leave? Please leave. Okay, I'll leave. Alright. Cool, I guess. Hey, Pons, you want to go Taral hunting? Now that we're not Alex hunting? And Avalka, go this way. In fact, you two, like, just chill. I'll send everyone else out on. Wait, did he leave? Oh, no. Okay. You're just straight up trespassing now. This isn't called leaving. This is called invading. Alex became hostile. I mean, yeah, because, like, he invaded our home. Of course he became... Well, buddy. How's that refusal to leave going for you? Let me introduce you to my friend Bernie McBurnbox, where you can become Ash. FYI, if you show up at a castle and the people in the castle are like, leave now, and you don't leave, you might find yourself at the wrong end of archery practice. And like, that is normal. Don't be that guy. So as far as anomalous monsters go, there is the Owlcat to the northwest. Okay. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind this series has since ended. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Dread Knights.